Do you know what special functions humans once had that they have abandoned in the long process of evolution? The first is the mysterious third eye. When you point your finger at the center of your eyebrows, the strange feeling may come from the subtle interference with the working state of the pineal gland. The pineal gland is considered to be a relic of the third eye of Earth's creatures. On the foreheads of some lizards or frogs, a small dot called the pineal eye or parietal eye can be seen. It can sense light and act as a biological clock to help animals track the change of seasons and the length of daylight, and synthesize melatonin to regulate physiological cycles such as sleep, reproduction, and body temperature. The ancient Uansati ancestors of mammals also had this organ, and fossil parietal holes provide evidence. However, about 145 million to 160 million years ago, this organ began to degenerate. Research speculates that perhaps the regular eyes took over the function of perceiving day and night and seasons, or the ability of mammals to regulate body temperature improved, which weakened the role of the third eye on the top of the head, and the advantage was no longer there, and eventually gradually disappeared in evolution. Today, the pineal gland in our brain retains some functions, such as synthesizing melatonin, but the third eye entity on the forehead no longer exists. Second is the disappearance of the penis bone. This bone is actually a standard feature of mammals, and its role is obvious. It can be put into battle at any time, prolong mating time, and increase the success rate of reproduction. Observing that our close primate relatives, such as chimpanzees and gorillas, all have penis bones, this shows that humans lost it at a certain stage of evolution. Scientists speculate that this may be related to the unique reproductive strategy of humans. On the one hand, it takes energy to grow and maintain the penis bone, and after humans walk upright, the risk of fracture in this part increases. On the other hand, humans have switched to the method of spongy congestion, not unique to humans but also horses and whales, and this adaptive change has been retained in natural selection. More importantly, sexual selection may have played a key role. Females may prefer males with advantages such as social status and resource acquisition ability, rather than the penis bone itself. In addition, the absence of a penis bone also reduces the risk of injury to females, so the method of spongy congestion may be more favored by females. The third is the information detector in the nasal cavity, the vomeronasal organ. It is mainly used to sense odors and pheromones. For example, when snakes quickly extend and retract their tongues, and horses and cats make slit-lip sniffing expressions, they are all using the vomeronasal organ to obtain information. Although humans retain the structure of the vomeronasal organ, its function is basically lost. After adulthood, the vomeronasal organ is disconnected from the sensory neurons and cannot transmit information to the brain. The vomeronasal organ related genes that work in other animals are also inactivated in humans. Studies have shown that these genes began to become inactivated about 23 million years ago, when apes and monkeys parted ways. This may be related to the highly evolved visual system of apes in social interaction and reproduction. Visual signals become far more important than olfactory signals, and the role of the vomeronasal organ has been continuously weakened. Today, related genes are still randomly degenerating because natural selection has no pressure to prevent this change. The fourth is the tail. Through in-depth research on fossils and genes, scientists have revealed that about 2 million years ago, the Earth's environment changed dramatically, and large tracts of forest disappeared. This forced the ancient apes to abandon their arboreal life and migrate to open ground, losing the need to move flexibly between branches. As a result, the tail, which was originally used to maintain balance, gradually degenerated and, eventually, Only a small piece of coccyx was left at our coccyx. The fifth is the palmaris longus. Now please stretch out your palm with your palm facing up and touch the tip of your thumb and little finger together. If you can see a prominent tendon at the wrist, that is the palmaris longus. This muscle helps maintain hand tension and balance when climbing trees or rocks. However, as human ancestors turned to land life and no longer climbed frequently, the palmaris longus was gradually eliminated. If you find that you don't have this muscle, then congratulations. According to statistics, only about 15% of people in the world lack the palmaris longus, which means that your degree of evolution exceeds 85% of people. However, the lack of palmaris longus does not lead to a weakened grip, and its function is no different from that of ordinary people. Fifth, super strong sense of smell and hearing. Many animals, such as dogs and mice, can distinguish thousands of odors through smell and even perceive danger or similar information. However, most of the human olfactory receptor genes have degenerated, and the sensitivity of smell is far less than that of our ancestors. This may be related to the fact that humans have shifted from arboreal to ground life and rely on vision to dominate the environment. In terms of hearing, humans' perception range of high-frequency sounds, about 20 Hz, 20 kHz, is also lower than that of many animals, such as bats that can perceive more than 200 kHz. This may be because the need for complex language communication makes humans more focused on processing mid-frequency sounds, such as speaking sounds. Seventh, the warmth and protection function of hair on the whole body. Early humans were covered with thick hair all over their bodies, which could not only resist the cold, but also reduce skin friction and ultraviolet damage. However, as humans learned to use tools, such as animal skins, and fire, the warmth-keeping function of hair gradually weakened. On the contrary, it may be eliminated by natural selection because it is easy to harbor dirt and breed parasites, and eventually evolved into sparse body hair. Eighth, instantaneous, strong muscle explosive. Power. The muscle strength of primates, such as chimpanzees, is several times that of humans, and they can easily climb high trees or tear hard objects. In order to adapt to long-distance running, chasing prey, or migrating, humans' muscle fiber types are more inclined to endurance type, with weaker explosive power but stronger endurance. This is also the key to humans' evolution of the ability of marathon hunting. Ninth, the ability to synthesize vitamin C autonomously. Most mammals can synthesize vitamin